this month. So hopefully you've been having a great month so far. We have lots of fun consultant incentives going on, lots of fun stress and happiness related offers. So let us know in the chat what you're most excited about so far this April, whether it's just about life or spring or youth. Let us know something that you're excited about this spring. Okay, and then Cynthia, do I have controls? You'll do that. Okay, so our agenda for today, we're going to do a product spotlight on Harmony, which is a great blend for helping us feel more grounded and connected. We're going to talk about a few business and sales tools. So we're going to discuss physical signs of stress and how that incorporates with giving more holistic recommendations to our customers to improve their well-being with a variety of different symptoms that they're experiencing. We're going to work together to share some ideas for motivational trainings. So obviously you are connecting here on Mondays. We're getting development from the company through our webinars, but we also wanted to share what are some other places or other resources that you use to get inspiration for your social media content and to just keep growing as a person and with your business. Then we'll talk about the importance of descriptions in social media, follow up with our call to action, and a few important dates and reminders. So go ahead and tell us in the chat, those of you who already have Harmony. This is a really nice blend. Cynthia, could you click through, do one more click so that, there we go. So Harmony Plus is a really good blend for, like I said, helping us feel more grounded and connected during the day. So it also just helps us have more of a sense of inner peace, a more positive attitude. It promotes pleasant moments and encourages our creativity. It helps us restore balance and harmony, especially this is a good one for the elderly who are sometimes very homebound and aren't able to go out and do the things that they really love. And this is something that's really good to have in their environment when they are sometimes spending more time in their room or at home. Also, it helps improve the mood in sick people, easing discomfort and the sense of anguish that we sometimes have, like when we're having a transition in our life, etc. And it helps us feel more reconnected and grounded, which makes it a really good partner for things like yoga, meditation, and other mindful activities. I love this aroma too. It's I think like one of the standout aromas in this is lemongrass. But I'm going to show you, Cynthia, if you can click, we'll show you the full ingredients list here. So, and yeah, go ahead. There's a few more animations to go through. There we go. So when we look at like the key ingredients of Harmony Plus, it can be helpful to be familiar with them so that you can explain them to your customers of why is this blend special. So we have citronella, which helps clear and refresh the mind. Lime and lemon, which are really good mood boosters. We know that citrus oils are good mood boosters. Lemon is really helpful for helping us feel more inspired. And then we also have peppermint, which gives us like a really fresh aroma. So that helps us with focus and mental clarity. Orange essential oil to help us feel more calm, reduce feelings of conflict. And lemongrass helps to refresh and stimulate our senses. And this is exactly what it smells like. I think for my nose, again, everyone's nose will be different with the aromas, but lemongrass is definitely one of the standout aromas in this blend. Okay. And we've been talking a lot about stress, feeling grounded, feeling happy this month, right? And so we wanted to discuss, does stress only affect our mood? Tell us what you think in the chat. Yes, no, experiences that you have with this. Does stress only affect our mood where we say, oh, I feel stressed, and that's it? Go ahead and share in the chat. What kind of experiences do you have with stress in your own life, or maybe just like customers or someone in your family? We often see signs of stress that are emotional, but they also have a lot of physical and dermocosmetic effects on our well-being. So it might be, yes, you feel a sense of stress, or you might have a little peak of anxiety, your heart might beat a little bit faster, you might get a headache, things like that. But it really can kind of spread into a lot of different areas of our life. Cynthia, if you can go ahead and click. So if you think about it, some of the major signs of stress that we're going to feel on our body, our mood, our behavior, et cetera, et cetera. You can get like headaches. If you have customers who are talking about muscle tension or pain, like especially in the back of their neck or their upper back, fatigue, sometimes chest pain. Obviously, that's something that we want to always recommend they go and see their doctor for, right? They might have a change in their sex drive. They might have stomach pain. They might have sleep problems. They might have eczema or rosacea flare-ups. There are all kinds of physical presentations of those stressors. And so when we're talking with our customers and they talk about some of those kinds of symptoms, we do want to have a conversation with them about also like, do you feel like you have good strategies for managing your stress? So, and there's lots of different holistic, healthy ways that they can do that. Make sure that they get enough regular physical activity. By getting like a little adrenaline and endorphin boost from physical activity, whether it's doing 10 jumping jacks or a brisk walk around the block, whatever, getting regular physical activity helps people close out stress cycles, which helps them kind of release their stress and move on with their day. Practicing relaxation techniques. This is where Yoast comes in. Deep breathing, meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, massage. Our essential oil blends like anti-stress, like Harmony Plus, etc., will be really important here for them, just to show them how to take those 3 to 4 deep breaths with their essential oils. I always tell them to put a drop or 2 in the palm of their hand. They can apply to their energy points if it's a blend that can be used directly on their skin. They rub their palms together to activate the aroma and take those 3 to 4 deep breaths, etc. Or massage, like with our aroma blends, massage oil, etc. We also can remind them, keep a sense of humor, spend time with your family and friends, set aside time for your hobbies that bring you joy. Maybe it's reading a book, listening to music, playing the guitar, whatever it is. So kind of have those conversations with them beyond just like, here's an essential oil to fix your problem. We do want to open up that conversation to helpful and educated recommendations that we can share with them. And this is also important because if you have customers talking about these kinds of symptoms, like I have a cousin, for example, who talks about she has a lot of bad neck pain, right? So she gets really tense on this part of her neck, and that leads to migraines and all these different things. So she really likes juniper cream because she uses that to relax those muscles. But I also talked to her about like, but do you feel like that is caused by stress? Are there other things we could add into your routine that can also help relieve those issues? Because it's like stress causes her tension and her posture at work because she's on a computer all day, and that can cause migraines. And it's just like a lot of different symptoms that are all connected to stress in the workplace, right? Cynthia, if you could click through to the next one. So I'm going to show you just like a holistic approach to like an example of a holistic approach to our recommendations for our customers. Let's say you have a customer who suffers from eczema, okay? And they are really looking for a way to start feeling better about that. I would ask, okay, do you know what your triggers are? Do you know what kinds of situations or things in your environment tend to make that spike? I can recommend for their skincare aspect of this, for the dermocosmetic aspect of this, I can recommend that they use the honey, milk, and rice bath foam. I can recommend that they use lavender cream or essential oil. But I also would have a conversation with that person saying, did you know that stress is a main trigger for eczema? How do I know that? I'm not making that up. I have researched triggers for eczema, and that is one of the main triggers, right? Like I use reliable sources, and I'm educated about that topic to help my customer. And I say, did you know that stress is a main trigger for eczema? You might consider incorporating our anti-stress blend into your routine and see if that improves the quality of your skincare, because you won't have as many flare-ups if that's one of your triggers, right? So not only is this a good way to provide a better service to our customers, but it also is a way for us to build our sales, and also just to have a more complete regimen so that your customer really sees good results by the end of it. Does that make sense? So you will find that anti-stress should be coming into your conversations when you're talking about customers with muscle pain, headaches, eczema, rosacea, etc. Stress is a trigger for a lot of those different symptoms. Educate yourself so that you can incorporate that into that conversation. Does that make sense? Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or comments about that. Okay, so then we'll move on to our next business tools. We wanted to just share as a community, and I'm glad we have several of you connected here live with us today, but whether you're live in the Zoom chat or on Facebook, please just share what are some motivational resources that you have been using to educate yourself and get new ideas and feel inspired and motivated for moving forward with your used business. Cynthia, could you click through to the next slide? So go ahead and just share in the chat, what are some places where you turn to get extra motivation, extra inspiration, and extra education about different things you can do with social media, sales, etc. So I'm going to share a few of my examples, things that I do. I like to listen to TED Talks, especially when I have a moment in my life where I need some extra information. TED Talks are a very reliable source of information. They're usually like 20 minutes long, short, sweet. It's like while I'm washing dishes or something, I can listen to that. This is actually where I learned about stress cycles. There's a really good TED Talk about closing out stress cycles. And they say we shouldn't be just telling our customers to telling people to just relax all the time. Like they should actually be getting extra activity so that they can close out their stress cycles. That was mind changing. Like that was mind blowing for me. That changed the way that I talk to people about stress, right? So getting educated on things like TED Talk. I also follow a pair, they're called Abby and David, and they have this like consulting tips that they give through Crushing It on Camera. I follow them through Facebook, but they'll just like email me all these little videos with tips about how to create better quality videos. So I really love their method. They teach me how to connect with the screen, how to connect with the camera, how to prepare my ideas, etc. I also do some trainings through Beach Boss Influencers. There's lots of different groups like this that explain kind of how to go about recruiting and give lots of different tips for new ways to do that. There's a ton of resources on YouTube. Just be careful that you're always finding something reliable and, try to vet that they are a good channel to follow. But there are lots of tips in terms of technology, using social media, etc., that you can grab just from anywhere on YouTube. So go ahead and share in the chat. Do you have a tool, an influencer, another place where you go for outside information or inspiration? Go ahead and share in the chat if you have those, and we'll try to share those out with the rest of the community. Thank you. Okay, and then we'll move on to our tech tips. So we've been doing kind of just a review of our key trainings for using social media for our used business. Today, we want to talk about text descriptions and why they're so important. So one thing is whenever we post a reel, a post with an image, a video, a live, etc., we do want to add text to it for a variety of reasons. The text that goes along with our post, especially like in Instagram, for example, that's how we hook people in to read the rest of it. And it has to be within those first few words. Have you noticed on Instagram below a photo, you only see like the first few words of what they're saying? Those first few words are really important as the hook to get our ideal customers reading our content. We're going to also, in that text, we're going to identify needs usually at the beginning of the text that we're writing. Like, do you suffer from headaches and tension, right? Or we're kind of like using that as our hook at the beginning of our text. We want to engage emotion. So whenever you're writing in your text and you're going to elaborate on a short reel that you have posted or a demonstration that you've posted or a picture of something that you've posted, you want to engage emotions by telling stories and connecting with your audience. And try to connect with the emotions that they might be feeling that will connect them to the used products that you are going to be talking about later. And so just tell stories, humanize yourself, make it clear that you use your used products to improve the quality of your life and of those around you, etc. We share valuable product info, especially in reels and demonstrations and things like that. We don't have a lot of time to go into all the details, but if you have a customer who watches a short reel that you've posted and they're interested in what you're talking about, we want them to be able to go into the text below your post and learn more about it, right? So that's where you do like a little bulleted list of the benefits of 31 herbal oil or anti-stress, etc., so that they can learn more about it. You've captured their interest. Now they want to learn the details. And just in terms of the algorithm on social media, when you do a good job writing meaningful text on your posts, it slows the scroll, which is good for your algorithm, which means people stop and they spend more time with your post, your text in front of them on their screen. And that is what the social media algorithms like Instagram, they're going to kind of flag that as something important and worth seeing. And that's going to help it get shown to more people. So there are so many reasons to spend some time doing this. And and I follow a lot of different people on social media, and I notice that there are some people who don't take the time to do this, and their content just doesn't get viewed. So you don't want to just have like 3 words saying like, here's the sale for April, right? You want to make that come to life with the text that you post with all of your content. Go ahead and click, Cynthia, to the next slide. Okay, so when we are writing the text to go along with the post, there are a few things to include. You want it to be concrete and concise, right? We do want people to spend time looking at it, but we want it to be really clean, bulleted lists, short sentences, short phrases, so that people can get their information really quickly. Not so much quickly in terms of like easily, right? They should be able to scan and find what they need really quickly as they need to. We want it to have a pleasant appearance. You'll notice like on this picture that is up here, the use of emojis to bullet lists to add some expressions, etc. That can really be helpful. We want it to be organized, easy to follow, use spacing in between ideas so that they can scan through the different chunks of information. We're going to use our everyday speech. You don't want this to sound too formal or too impersonal. Add your expertise, add some extra tips and extra testimonials to your information that you're sharing. Add 3 to 5 relevant hashtags. And then at the end, try to be specific and give a call to action, like visit my link in my bio or shop here, etc. With Instagram, for example, our link, whether it's Linktree or your personal website, is going to be in your bio. So a good way to do that is to send people to your bio, to that link, let them know that you do have one there, because not everyone knows that there are links in in profiles, right, on Instagram. So try to always end with do this, right? Here's the information. Here's my hook of why this matters to you. Here's the information that's relevant about this, well organized. Here's a specific call to action that tells you to go do something with this information. And then we follow up with our 3 to 5 hashtags. Okay. Go ahead, click to the next slide, Cynthia. Thank you. Okay, so what do we do with this information? I want you to do a few things this week. Our main goal is find 6 new people who suffer from stress-related symptoms. So we know that stress comes up in conversation often. Really work that into your conversations with new people that you're meeting and see if you can help give them some recommendations for how to feel better. Make it a goal of 6 people this week that you can talk to about stress, anti-stress, and other remedies that we have to help them feel better. And it could be that you're talking to people in person, you're sending out that survey or quiz we talked about earlier this month, you're sharing needs cards with people, etc. But find 6 new people to talk to and try to lead that to a sale for yourself, right? Because if they try our anti-stress blend, our Melissa Bath essence, etc., they're not going to regret it, right? Like, that's going to help them take better care of themselves and feel better. Also try again with this way that we talked about of writing good quality text with your social media posts, whether it's a reel or a picture or whatever, try to add text that keeps people looking at it for longer, but we want to take a little time and write it well so that they stay there reading it, right? So organized, concise, and tells them to do something specific. Okay. And then let's see, make sure that we're talking about our sales and all that. I'll go over some of those time. Go ahead, you can switch to the next slide. Thank you. We'll talk about some of our time specific deals that are going on in just a moment, but hopefully that has given you some inspiration that you can put towards your business, towards your productive work time this week, to really keep things moving.